What's this government shutdown all about in the United States? I'm so happy you asked. Let me take you through step by step. I'll talk slowly for the people at back, and you guys can explain it to all the people that like to run their mouths in the United States who have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Here we go. You got your pen, you got your paper? Go borrow somebody from down the hall. Number one. The federal government needs to have secure funding every single year it's in operation. And if they don't have funding okayed and legitimized by the first of the fiscal year, that's October 1st, then they shut down. Number two, who pays for the federal government? I'm so happy you asked. Because of separation of powers, the federal government can't be funded by a simple, executive order and the whim of the president. The purse strings, I kind of like that. It reminds me of Grandma Ruby. The purse strings are held by Congress. Congress is the only entity that can actually give power, give money to the president. It's kind of like giving an allowance, but you got to ask them nicely. Here's how it works. A budget is created. Right now, the Republicans are in charge. I know, I don't want to remind you of that either. The Republicans are in charge. They come up with a budget. As they come up with a budget, they present it to the House of Representatives and the Senate. When they presented it to the House, there needs to be a 50+1% in order to pass it along to the Senate. When it gets passed along to the Senate, wait for it, they need 60 of the 100 votes. Just so everybody understands, 2 senators per state, 50 states, there's 100 votes. You need a 60% in order to pass it in the Senate. Not to ruin the end of the story, but the Republicans don't have the votes. They don't have 60. So right now, the Democrats are stopping the budget from passing. Just so you're aware, this has happened many times before. However, what normally happens in this situation is they vote on what's called a continuing resolution, okay? So you fought all year, you haven't come to a resolution, nobody's agreed on a budget, it's not gonna pass, so what do? You make a temporary agreement. You say, okay, fine, we're gonna fund the government for the next 3 months, but within the next 3 months, you need to come up with a formalized budget for the rest of the year. It's called a continuing resolution. Usually they can agree to it. This year, the Democrats said, no. It warms my heart when they say no and stand their ground. Here's the issue. Not having a budget means that the federal government isn't going to get funded. And as of October 1st, today, nobody working for the federal government gets paid. So about, over 700,000 federal government employees are furloughed, are told to go home and watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, maybe they're not told to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but maybe if they did, they'd run the government better. Number 6, this is just an aside, a PS. I just want you to know the way the government works, okay? If the budget was passed in the House and the Senate, and it actually went to the president didn't like it, the president can veto the bill. He doesn't sign it into law. However, because of a separation of powers, Congress can override the presidential veto with a 2/3 majority. So for all of you sitting at home wondering why Congress can't do anything, they can. They can override every single thing the Trump administration does if 2/3 of them get together and says enough's enough. Congress, that's a hint to do your job. Just override the lunatic. Number 7, now in this situation, everything's shut down, but certain things stay open. What stays open? Anything emergency related. Law enforcement, medical, air, army. Of course, ICE, because what will we do without those guys running around with masks on their face terrorizing innocent civilians? Number 2, the mail service stays intact. And number 3, there's minimal staffing everywhere else. So even though some things are open in order to do all of these jobs, they're going to be doing them very, very slowly and poorly because they don't have enough people in the job. Now here's the important part. Why? Why is this happening? Why are Democrats now standing firm? Because they should have been standing firm a long time ago, but let me explain it to you. It is 3-pronged. Do you still have that pencil you need sharpened? Number 1, right now there's a tax credit in place that's about to expire, and Democrats want to protect this. And this tax credit allows Americans to get cheaper health insurance. And in the United States, you have to understand that most people can't afford health insurance at all. And this is the only way for them to gain access and keep up with their premiums. So Democrats want to protect that. Just get universal health coverage already. Number 2, the Democrats are demanding a reversal of Trump's cuts to Medicaid used by millions of Americans, predominantly the elderly, disabled, and poor. Now, Trump is pretending as though these are all going to illegal immigrants. They are not. They are going to Americans who desperately need them. He's just looking to save money, and the Democrats are saying, not this time. Bud? I don't know where Bud came from. It should have been a Hun, but nonetheless, carry on. And finally, number 3, Democrats are opposed to cuts to healthcare agencies across the board, making it easily accessible, funding research, funding cancer treatments, all of these things that Trump wants to unilaterally cut in order to save his government more money. Moral of the story, is this going to cost Americans money? Absolutely. Is it going to cause chaos? Absolutely. You are already in chaos. It is already costing you money. If your healthcare costs go up, it is just going to get worse. The question is, do you want to make a stand now, or do you want to let him run rickshaw over everybody in order to get what he wants? How do you want to stand? Do you want it to be on your knees, or do you want to stand against a tyrant who thinks he has the power to do whatever he wants whenever he wants to do it? Now's the time to stand up.